YouTube, what's good? It's your boy, Papa Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. Hey, guess what? It's your first time tuning in. Go ahead. Hit the doggone subscribe button. Hit notification bell every time she come, every time I post up new content. Yes, this is my second show today. In a sense, you probably could call this part two. Yeah, come on in here. I hear you. Yay, 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 yay. So in that case, if you come on. Wait on my little grandbaby. But in that case, wow, we all look at her. She walking, y'all. So in that case, uh, I didn't finish watching the interview with the Club Shay interview. Come on right over here. Come on. Come on. You pushing chairs and stuff. Come on, let the people see you. Come on. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. There it is, right there. There my little poodle, y'all. Shay, wave at the camera. Say, hey. Well, yeah. So another thing, no, you can't mash the keyboard because I'm live right now. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Huh? What? Huh? Yeah. Uh-huh. I feel like I have to. I feel like this show is necessary. Huh? Huh? This show is necessary. This show has to be done because ain't nobody gonna do it quite like you talk. Yeah, nothing. Do what? Okay, look, you got diaper. You look, got diaper on. Look, I told you you can't walk around the house. You supposed to have clothes on. I can't walk around in my shirt and drawers, and neither can you, even though they are disposable. Ah, come on now, you gonna cut off my, you gonna cut it off now. All right, so not the case. I'm gonna try to do this. So I didn't. And so basically, hold on. Let's do this. Let's do this. Me and you'll do a show later, and then you can talk to all of the babies. So in our case, people, what we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law. Now, when Sheriff Buford T. Justice said that, he was actually like really talking about laws that are written, chiseled in stone, if you will. But the lack of respect for the law, what I'm talking about, yes, some of the laws may be indeed be written, chiseled in stone. But just know that the laws, what I'm actually really talking about here, is that you're not, for like it's, you may find it in a law book somewhere, but for the most part, these are like what they like to call the natural unwritten law, right? And I'm saying this because, and I'm at this, you put it like this, I'm at the point in my life now where that I could see something, you know, like it could be a movie or whatever. And for the most part, I can pretty much tell you what the outcome is actually really going to be due to experience and to how many times I've actually really seen the same movie, but different title. You know, it's put like this. Everything that actually really goes on actually really proves the point of the same song, different verse. So why do I say that you asked? I mean, because just like say, put like this, I watched as much as the of the interview that I could, right? Until after a while, I said, you know what? I can't watch no more of this because I think now the intent, right, is probably was okay. Well, if Cat Williams did this, right, when he came on that, well then let me go on there and see how many views can I get, considering that yes, I'm a comedian. I love telling the truth or half truth, right? And let's just see how far that I can actually really get. Yes, my second tasted beverage. And I don't need y'all talking about shit. For I'm retired, motherfuckers. Right? I get money. Right? A lot of you motherfuckers are working. Right? So, but in that case, that's neither here nor there. So here's the deal, people. The Monique interview is on Club Shay. Go on YouTube, check it out for what you said. You know, check it out. If indeed that's what the fuck you want, can stomach that shit. For the most part, that shit was actually really worse than her motherfucking Netflix special. You know, because the thing about those for this, for one, it wasn't funny. You talked about your damn personal life, right? And then you talked about your personal life, and it wasn't fun. I mean, anytime, but then again, anytime when you do talk about your personal life, depending on the severity of it, it ain't supposed to be funny. And then if you try to make it funny, then I'm just like, well, hey, that's you, you know. But then again, nobody actually really made no. It's only one comedian that actually really made fun of their personal life, and it actually like really so beyond belief was the late great Richard Pryor. So, but you know, we're not here to talk about the greatest of all time. We're here to talk about the most fucked up person of all time in Monique. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because it's out of now, great the fact I can go back and rewatch this same interview, right? And I can actually really pick up, I probably could pick up some more stuff. But the two things that I actually like really want to talk about is what she said. She was quick to holler about family, right? Which I have no problem with. I have no problem with family. But then it's how you portrayed family is what I have a problem with. Because and again, just like with Cat Williams, you said the exact same shit that motherfuckers already know. You talked about the DL Hughley situation. You talked about Lee Daniels. You talked about Oprah Winfrey. You talked about Tyler Perry. Okay, all this shit we already know, right? But the one thing that I'm actually really looking at is for the simple fact, okay, again, you holler family. You hollering family. You want to talk to your babies and your brothers and whatever the fuck you want to call your family, right? But when you went on the DL Hughley show and you said that DL wasn't there, and then after the show was over with, then you was talking about you said, well, hey, look, let's play a game. And it was like, okay, whatever the fuck you said that the game was. And so you said, well, what if your husband did this with Lee Daniels and then put it like this. Would you what would you rather have? Would you rather have your husband some other guy without? Right? And so he was just like, why would you come at me like that? Right? Well, but this is what you said, right? And then here's another thing. You was hollering about family. Both you and Shay sitting up there talking about, well, my grandma used to say this, well, my grandma used to say that, well, my grandma used to say the other. Well, let me tell you something what my grandma used to tell me, right? As we sit out there on her front porch, out there in McAllen, Arkansas, right? We sit out there on her front porch, and for those y'all that are down south, those y'all that are old enough, you know how the houses are down south. You have your porch, and then you have like the little swing bench on the porch. And so basically that's what me and my grandmother did, right? We sit out there on that front porch, and she have her 40 ounce, I have my 40 ounce. We sit up there, we drinking, and we talking shit about the people that's walking by, right? It's what the fuck me and my nan did, right? But every once in a while, my grandmother would actually really tell me something. It actually really stuck with me. So she said, even though y'all know my name is Apollos Harris, right? You know, but it's funny that nobody in the family actually really called me by my name. I mean, I read the fact they got close. And for the most part, when it's family, then it doesn't matter. So, but in either case, right? Basically, what she said, Apollo, or she'll say, baby, with that damn snuff in her mouth. She said, anytime when a person comes up to you and starts babbling all of these truths about so and so, right? how so-and-so did this, that, and the third, right? So there's $64,000 question, which you might want to start asking. All of your stuff is out of there.
I know. Getting the shirt in here real quick.
So in either case, when people sit up here and they come telling you, hey, let me tell you about so and so. What so and so is doing. Or what the fuck so and so ain't doing. 9 times out of 10, the person that's telling you all this nonsense, they probably, guess what? They probably was with so and so. And so I'm saying all of this because everybody's, for the most part, still up in the air about this whole cat with crystal. I got that. So everybody's still up in the air about this whole, all this shit with Cat Williams came out with, all this shit that he just said about Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, Ricky Smiley, blah, 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 you name it. So let everybody tell it, right? Cat Williams shut it down, right? But my thing is, okay, what the fuck is Cat Williams done, right? And so now here come Monique, right? And I think once it actually really gets out, right? I'm thinking what's going on is that Shannon Sharp is like, okay, well, I did this with Cat, so now here come Monique. Now, is she gonna break the internet like what Cat Williams did? Probably not. But it's just for the simple fact that, she was like the first one up, if you will. So in either case, right? So they like I say, she on the DL Hughley show, right? So after all of the festivities and shit is over with, right? Then they was like, hey, you want to play a game? So in either case, this was, so I already said it, well, what if your husband did this, that, the third, right? And then so she gets offended by that. So then she calls DL, and then DL was like, okay, well, this is what the fuck we do. So the question which you got to ask yourself is, okay, well, whether or not DL set it up or his team set it up, you got to ask yourself, okay, well, why would they even approach Monique in such a way? Well, it's quite obvious. Those of y'all that are Monique fans, y'all know how she once was, and probably still is, right? Anytime when you are a public figure, and then you just put it out there, right? Oh, me and my husband have an open marriage. I'm gonna say it again. Me and my husband got an open marriage. So what the fuck you think? That's like flies to shit. You done went over there and took a shit in the corner or out in the middle of the floor, right? And then, just like anybody else, right? You already know fire's gonna go to it. But then, then they say, okay, well, after so much time, right? I've learned to come out of that. But guess what? You didn't put the shit out there. You already didn't put it out there. So of course, people are still gonna ask you. They put like this. They know, okay, look, this is what the fuck you did. Right? So for the most part, you gotta be like, okay, well, shit. let's see, let's see if some feelings, let's see if we can still dig up some shit, right? It's no different than the movie, the goddamn Tubi movie, the motherfucking Marriage Package, right? Yeah, you may not do that shit no more, right? But it just for the simple fact that somebody may come out and be like, okay, well, if I look good enough, we might can act like really get them to do the same shit again, right? And so basically, nine times, so basically, depending on when the interview was and when she actually really come out of that bullshit, nine times out of 10, the shit was probably still fresh. It probably was still fresh, right? And so it's almost like, okay, well, why not ask? Why not ask if you act like really sit down? Because for one, you still in the motherfucking industry. This is what motherfuckers do, right? And for the most part, sometimes that shit is like trying to find a motherfucker needle in a goddamn haystack, right? So, and so for the most part, right, when so just like I said, everybody always holler about, you know, when you're a public figure, they always holler about, okay, well, make sure that you say whatever it is that you think that you about to say, or whatever the fuck it is that you about to do, make sure this is something that you want the public to know. Because the first time you put that shit out there, then there it is, right? So for the most part, right, and then my whole deal is, right, I get it. Everybody don't grow up the same. Everybody's, you may have people, everybody don't have like the typical childhood, right? Whatever the fuck that may be, right? But I just feel like, but you know, your life reflects on how you grew up. So if this is what the fuck you saw nine times out of 10 when you get old enough, this is what the fuck you gonna act out. But I just feel like when when something as sacred as marriage comes your way, then it's just regardless of how fucked up your childhood might have been. It's just some things that I just feel like that you have to hold near and dear to your heart, right? Me, if you marry somebody, then that's who you with. Now, granted fact, I know what the fuck I said in previous shows. I get all of that, but I'm not no goddamn celebrity, But then again, that I'm not here to say that that makes it right neither, right? A lot of it, you could be like, hey, something new, hey, shit, why not? But then again, you don't act like really just put it. You don't act like really put the shit out there so tough, where that okay, well, hey, look, yes, we married, but yeah, if you want to fuck my husband, go ahead and fuck my husband. Or if you want to fuck my wife, go ahead and fuck my wife. No, that is not how the song goes, right? But then again, that's you being in Hollywood. But at the same time, you holler about family. But the thing about it is this, and I know I've said this, regardless of background, right? It's just certain things that you don't do, right? And wife swapping is one of them. Wife swapping, husband swapping, whatever the fuck you actually really want to call it. That, listen, that's some shit that you don't do. But she did it. But you want to go on Club Shay and act like these folks just attacked your husband for apparently no fucking reason, and you didn't give the reason why. You don't get a reason why. So you don't. People can get on here. They get on there and they can sit up there and talk about, well, yeah, such and such and such this, such and such that, such and such the other. But it's just for the fact that they don't never tell you why. Right? Just like I said, she sit up there singing that long song and dance. And then then another thing what kills me, right? Out of all of the people that you could have looked up to in Hollywood, you chose Oprah Winfrey. So I mean, I read the fact, I get it. Hattie McDaniel was dead and gone by the time you got into the business. But what about Nichelle Nichols? What about Esther Rowe? What about Della Reese? Right? I'm pretty sure there were other female actors, comedians / actors that you could have looked up to other than besides motherfucking Oprah Winfrey. Right? And it's just for the simple fact, okay, she brought up the whole Taraji piece with this remake of The Color Purple. And so my thing is this. So you were sitting up here hollering about the whole time, throughout the whole goddamn interview, right? You were sitting up here hollering about the whole time, right? Well, I'm here, so don't nobody else fuck up. But you let Taraji fuck that off. You let Taraji get fucked up. Right? And then here come Taraji, then you could be like, so here comes Shay, like, well, what do you think of? Well, it was sad. Well, bitch, you worked with her 10 years prior. So you knew how she was. Right? So you couldn't, so where were you to like, hey, you might not want to go that route with her. Look what she did. Look how she did me. Look how her, Lee, and motherfucking Tyler did me. Right? And if you actually really stop and think about it for a minute, right? Monique got the train ran over, right? And Oprah was watching, and Oprah was motherfucking filming the whole goddamn time, right? But it's just for some fact, right, that, look, you went down that rabbit hole. You knew it was fucked up. And you let Taraji go down that same motherfucking rabbit hole. Now this bitch crying, right? But you knew that beforehand. So how come you didn't stop that, Monique? How come you didn't stop that? I mean, you sit up here, you holler about family this, family that, family other. But you let Taraji get her head bit off. Why is that? Again, this is almost like the shit that I said not even a couple of hours ago. When I talked about the Grammys, I talked about the Super Bowl, I talked about the NBA All-Star Game. All this shit happening this month. Right? Then here you come. Right? I mean, put like this. Did y'all learn anything from motherfucking Cain and Abel? because it's quite obvious that you didn't. And then it's the same story throughout motherfucking history. It was Cain and Abel. Then it was Joseph and his brothers. Right? And I'm pretty sure it's some shit in between that I'm motherfucking missing. But if you look throughout the course of history, this is what people do. They fuck over each other. Right? And then you said it yourself. Right? Little girl coming up in Baltimore. Right? Ain't had nothing. And then again, it's the same story or the same song, different version, regardless of who's motherfucking telling it. Whether you a goddamn comedian, whether you a motherfucking professional athlete, you name it, it's the fucking case. You didn't have next to nothing, right? Mom and you put like this, your mama working 2 and 3 jobs, daddy ain't nowhere around, right? And you're like, okay, well, I gotta motherfucking do something. So you end up leaving home, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. And then you get the first piece of money that the first big piece of money that you ain't ever seen in your life, right? And then you were like, ooh, and then motherfucker tell you, oh, well, you get this every goddamn day, right? Or every time you on motherfucking TV. So you sign the contract, not really knowing what the fuck you signed. And again, it's the same shit that Dave Chappelle said. Right? When you don't know what the fuck you signing. And then when you get that, so when you get the money, now all of a sudden you want to have open marriage. Not to say that was the case with you. Right? But all what I'm saying is this. Don't carry your ass on somebody else's platform and talk all this bullshit. And then you don't tell every goddamn thing. And which actually really brings you back to Cat Williams. Says he was so determined to clown folks. Why you didn't clown this bastard here? Why you didn't clown this bitch here? With her open marriage. Where were you, Cat, on that? Or did you take your own fucking tongue out your mouth on this? So that's what I'm saying. Motherfuckers always about tell the truth. And then they was hollering about, they said, well if your grandma, well, my grandma this, my grandma that, okay, well, guess what? My grandma this, my grandma that said the exact same shit to me. Right? Because just know these motherfuckers ain't that much older than me. Okay? Let's not get this shit twisted, people. But the thing about those this, don't carry your ass on somebody else's motherfucking show talking shit. But I'm like, well, I hope he won't ask about this. Right? But I'm going to tell you something, Shannon Sharp. Right? I could say you about as dumb as they come. This is what I could say. And who knows? You may not know. Which is like, how you not gonna know? Because you was part of it too, my friend. How else you think you got them damn 3 Super Bowls? Okay, so I'm just, all what I'm saying is this. I already know. I will never be a guest on any of these motherfucking shows, right? But God forbid if I ever be on any of these shows, right? I mean, because I mean, I great the fact I would never actually really just get on there and just shoot my load on what the fuck somebody else has said. Now, if you ask me, then yeah, I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let you have it, like how I'm doing on my show right now. This is the crazy Uncle show, so I can get on here and I can pretty much say anything, what the fuck I want to say, when I want to say, it, right? Because it's my goddamn show. But then again, if you ask me to come on your shit, then guess what? I'm pretty much gonna say the exact same thing because for one, you asked me for my motherfucking opinion. Don't believe me? Go ask Hannibal and Monty. Out of all the times that I've been on their show, right? So all what I'm saying, Monique, right? You just like put it like this. Hate to say it, but and you know, and I done said this already. You know, Monique, just know that you are not you're not you're not Hollywood, damn, excuse me. You're not Hollywood's cup of tea. I mean, you bitch. Well, how come everybody else got a Netflix special? Bitch, you're not funny. Plain and simple. I watched your last Netflix special. You're not funny, right? Matter of fact, you know, out of all of the comedians that are out there, right? And just know that for me, it starts and ends with Richard Pryor, right? Eddie, you know, he made his little noise. Robin Harris, but then anything after that, you know, it's a couple of them out there that you know they're having rolling in my seats. But as far as like the the basis of comedy, it will always be Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Eddie Murphy. It just know that it's gonna be more Richard Pryor than any of them, right? But you know, I just look at it and I'm just like, okay, so this is what you talking about, you know. And but just like I said, you know, it's gonna be a lot of people that's probably gonna look at this. They probably gonna be like, oh well, okay, well maybe she gonna follow up what the fuck Cat said, and then in a sense she kind of did, but it was just like, okay, you talking about shit that motherfuckers already done heard. You talked about the incident with you and DL had, right? Now, whatever, but the thing about it though is this, right? Whatever the fuck the dispute was, right? Let's just actually really take this to a motherfucking vote, right? At a comedy special, who would you rather put like this? If it came down to those two there, DL Hughley or motherfucking Monique, who the fuck you want to close out the evening and why? Right? Well, it's just for the simple fact I don't like neither one of them. But if I just had to take a choice in the matter, I'm going with DL because at least he may make me do. He may. I might get a few of those. Monique, consider what I saw on her last Netflix special. After all that shit that you bitched about, no, you ain't gonna get not even that out of me, right? So, but my whole deal is just like I say, I can go back and I can watch some more of that motherfucking interview, and I can actually really bring out. Listen, just know I can tear her ass up more than what the fuck I did. But the thing about though is this: don't sit up here and holler about family. Don't sit up here and holler about family when marriage, for the most part, is I'm not gonna with marriage or true marriage, whether it's on paper or whether it's something that what Yahweh just said, you know what? Y'all two gonna be together. And when I say y'all two, I'm talking about a man that has dick and balls, and he don't actually really go and try to change that shit out. And I'm talking about a woman that got the titty, the pussy, and the ass, right? That's what the fuck I'm talking about, right? When them two come together, you get a family, right? So, but this is what the fuck you holler, Monique. You holler family, but you just fucked up the family when you was on that motherfucking open marriage bullshit. Why else would the motherfucker ask you that goddamn question? It's just like in the movie Marriage Pass, right? Because 9 times out of 10, I bet your fat ass probably initiated it, right? Because 9 times out of 10, it's probably the woman that's initiated, right? But it's just like this, motherfucker. You knew who the fuck you was marrying before you married him. So why sit up there and holler about a motherfucking marriage pass or open motherfucking marriage? Why do that? So that's what I'm saying. Don't let these motherfuckers in the goddamn industry fool you, come to you, talking about crying what he did. No, Read the fucking contract. Right? You try to tell me that you that damn stupid. And you know, and look, I know a lot of motherfuckers be like, well, what the fuck did you do? Okay, I'm a 21-year Army veteran. Right? Now, am I getting my just due? Hell no. I'm still fighting for it. Right? But the thing about those, but see, the thing about with being in the Army for as long as I was and working in Hollywood, guess what? You didn't have to dig no goddamn foxhole. You didn't have to put rounds down right? You don't protect motherfucking cities, people, equipment worth millions of dollars. All what the fuck you do is get in front of that goddamn camera. And once the directors say action, guess what? That's what the fuck you do. In my line of business, wasn't no motherfucking action, wasn't no motherfucking cut. It was like, hey, can you go back and redo that shit? No, it wasn't like that. It will never be like that. So Monique, you can shut the fuck up in color. Cat Williams, you can shut the fuck up in color. Stay off of the goddamn comics, because the thing about those is this. Like I say, you clowning everybody motherfucking else, but you didn't say shit about Monique. Did she give you some pussy, motherfucker? During that open marriage part. So again, I know how to look at this shit. And then Shannon Sharp with his old country bumpkin ass, right? Like, oh, I didn't know. Really, motherfucker? Really? So this is what the fuck we do. This is what the fuck they do, people. Why is this so motherfucking surprising? Why is it so motherfucking surprising to her? Talking about, oh, well, I just wanted to be famous. Really, motherfucker? So this is what the fuck we do. I didn't know, really. In Hollywood has been along how long? So, so for the most part, again, you own somebody else's shit, on somebody else's platform, crime, what the fuck for? I mean, it acts like it motherfucking amazes me. Like, seriously. I mean, now it could be now. People can look at me and be like, okay, well, hey, guess what? You served 21 years, and you served serving this country, and yes, I done got shot up with every motherfucking thing possible, right? Well, guess what? These motherfuckers, they paying me, and they gon' pay me, right? In a sense, I can look at it and be like, okay, well, motherfucker, you actually really talking about yourself as well, right? But and then it's just funny where that if you go, and I hate to sound like old broke ass record, but when you're a teacher, this is what the fuck you do. My whole deal is that, just like I said, if y'all actually been paying attention for the past 5 shows, right? Y'all know that I've actually really came out and I've actually like really have said some shit about my personal life, right? Where that, okay, when I was younger, right, I did some shit, you know, to actually like really, well, to fit in. I mean, if you want to call it, if you want to call it peer pressure, then hey, by all means. But I just know like a lot of this shit. Hey, look, I really, I had no problem with it. I really didn't. I mean, because and I could have cared less of who was doing it or who wasn't doing it, right? But it's something that I did. Is it something that I'm proud of? No, but it's just for the simple fact that okay, look, it's what the fuck I did, right? And it's just for the simple fact that, do you learn from it? Of course, but it's just like I said, we're not talking about the politicians here. We're not talking about the motherfucking 21-year career Army veteran. It's not who we're talking about. We're talking about that bitch in there, right? These are my thoughts about what the fuck she said in that, right? And for the most, and for that, what I did see, did she clown Steve Harvey? No, because again, this is shit that we've already seen. Why the fuck would you go back some fucking 5 years when you was on his show, right? And it's just for the simple fact that I know I didn't say that. I know I didn't say this when it was hot shit, but my thing is this, right? You can get a song. You can get a song and say, let's say that the name of the song is "The Rabbit Kicked the Bucket," and so I was like, "The rabbit kicked the bucket." And then somebody else can sing the same song. And they can be like, the rabbit kicked the bucket. Right? And it sell more than what the fuck you did. Because of how the fuck you said it. Right? But nothing is said. Right? You know, I mean, whether the motherfucker asked you for the shit or whether they didn't. And if they did, if they sung the shit better than you, then oh well. Guess what? They sung the shit better than your ass. And then the same thing with you, Cat Williams, right? You could tell a joke, motherfucker hear your joke, and guess what? If they can tell the joke better than your little short sawed off ass, then hey, guess what? Somebody just took your joke and made it better. Shut the fuck up and color guy, right? It's no different than if with me, right? You know, I mean, now, granted fact, I don't go in the gym and holler about pound for pound. I'm the, you know, that I'm the strongest motherfucker ever. I don't do that shit no more. That was motherfucking 15 years ago, right? But just know this: when I did say it, right? Pound for pound, while I was in the army, right? Regardless of where the fuck I was at, pound for pound, wasn't nobody stronger than me. I was not going to allow that shit to happen. Okay? Plain and simple. And if you did, guess what? I'm finna, and then I'm finna blow your motherfucking ass out the goddamn water. Right? And so basically what happens is that, okay, the motherfucker, that was one, it's like what Steve Harvey said, that was one goddamn joke. You bitching about one goddamn joke, dog. It is something seriously wrong with your ass. And just like I say, you can call this part 2 if you want it, but my thing is this. Cat Williams, you ain't nothing more than a motherfucking typical house nigga, right? Because let's be honest here. You the right fucking color. You are the right, I mean, they'll look at you and then they be like, hey, go out there and tell this about Steve Harvey and everybody else. Right? And then guess what the fuck you did? Yes, boss, I'll do it. And then you claim your ass on Club Shay. Right? You give Club Shay a little money in the process, right? Because 9 times out of 10, he probably ain't making all of that money on first take. You know, and you know, I'm just saying, you know, look, Shannon, Shay, or whatever the fuck you want to call yourself, right? Hey, look, you out there, you doing your thing, hey, good for you, right? But the thing about though is this: when you ready for a real motherfucker to come on your goddamn podcast, right? You need to come holler at your boy, and I'll square your motherfucking ass away. Plain and simple. Let old Sergeant Harris talk to your ass right fast, right? Fuck around with me, I have you have your ass standing there motherfucking parade rest on your own goddamn podcast, right? But but all I'm saying is this, people. Don't y'all go on, you know, you for the most part, you almost knew if you've been paying attention, you already knew that he was gonna have to go out and get somebody that's for the most part that either like pick up where the fuck Cat left off at, or kind of go away from it for a little bit and be like, hey, look, you can talk about Cat just a little bit, but look, not too tough, because this is we done with Cat on this, right? Let him eat his motherfucking meow mix or whatever. Let him eat his motherfucking meow mix. Let him piss and shit in his own motherfucking litter box. Whatever the fuck, whatever the case may be, right? But let's just talk about you, only you, whatever. But I'm just like, bitch, like, tell me something that I don't already know. And then, like, say, look, you not that, you wasn't that fucking funny. I'm so fucking sorry to tell you. Like, hey, look, you never be on my motherfucking mouth for a small comment. Just put it out there. So that's my spiel. And yeah, I'll shut my mouth up for the rest of the day. I ain't, I really ain't got too much to talk about, but I'm just like, come on now, y'all. We gotta do a little bit better than that. I mean, don't sit up here and holler about family this, family that, family other, and you did the one, and you did the one thing not to do. So again, and since I'm a little bit, I'm better off than what the fuck I was a couple hours ago. So hey, guess what the fuck y'all get to do? Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell Big Dan, tell Big Damn. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell Big Dan, tell Big Bertha, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, motherfucker next door, cross street round the corner. Father's Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. I'm gonna holler at y'all.